this concert that we're doing today is one of the most varied that I've ever been involved in, because we've got the hip-hop at the beginning, we've got the bass quartet, we've got so many different sounds. And for me, that's a great experience to be part of that.
You ever had the sensation of a bass line, manifestation of a ladder up and down your spine? Yo, the pleasure is all mine to explain this phenomenon. Mind-boggling to feel the depth of the double bass, causing strange expressions on your face, like James Brown getting down, the grandfather is kind. Just bear in mind, these 4 strings are the longest that you'll find.
I'm delighted to be here, to be able to play the kind of concert we're doing this evening. It's quite unusual.
In order to make sure that the tradition of classical music continues and grows and develops, if we don't do that, we're just not living in the real world. We're not taking ourselves seriously, because we can't just sit there and play our Beethoven and expect people to come and listen to it.
Whether you sitting down or standing, you gotta have your hands in perfect synchronization to fully exploit the situation and drive the beat through a jazzy melody, or run against the violin in a classical harmony. Whether arco or pizzicato, with or without a bow, it wins how low can you go. The bass master is invincible, it's untouchable. The bass master is invincible. Yo, I wouldn't want to be in your place when you come face to face with a double bass.
The double bass is quite a versatile instrument. It's not just a large wardrobe, as most people think it is, but it can, most people know it as a jazz instrument. I mean, one of the pieces we play, we have a little bit of jazz for the bass, and the violins swing. So that sort of thing. But also, I mean, the double bass has been a figure of fun. So quite serious composers poked fun at the instrument. And the very first piece we play, Saint-Saëns wrote the columns of the Animals, as we all know, and the double bass represents the elephant, slow, lumbering little creature. And that's supposed to demonstrate the character of the instrument. But in the elephant that we play tonight, it's quite different. Hip-hop elephant, bit of rap, and quite unusual.
I think we definitely have to promote it now more than ever. We have to really sell it to people, because it's such a fantastic, one of the greatest things humanity's ever done. Classical music, the repertoire there, the thoughts that go into that music, it must not be lost, whatever happens. I went to my very first concert when I was 11 years old, which is quite late, really. And it was just some children basically playing violins and violas, and I think an oboe, a couple of cellos. And as soon as I heard the sound of those instruments, I knew music was what I wanted to do. I focused particularly on the violin and thought it just sounded fantastic, and really wanted to do that. And I wanted to do it immediately. So luckily I managed to get lessons at the local school. My family weren't musical at all, so it was, it's quite a strange thing to happen, that I should suddenly take to this.
Delighted to be here, to be able to play the kind of concert we're doing this evening. It's quite unusual in that most of the time when I play concertos, I will turn up and stand in front of the orchestra for 15 or 20 minutes playing one piece, and that's it. And this concert is very different. I'll be at the front of the stage here for an hour at least. And that's rather hard work, but quite challenging. And what I hope to do is to show the double bass in many different guises, different kinds of things it can do. In the orchestra nowadays, the tuning that has been settled upon is known as the orchestral tuning, which is bottom string E, next A, D, and G. But all the pieces in orchestral tuning, I will use a particular double bass, and then for the things where the orchestra comes in here are the solo things where I'll use solo tuning. And instead of having an E at the bottom, it then becomes an F sharp. The A becomes a B, the D becomes an E, and the G becomes an A. Now the theory is that it's a higher tension. It's one tone higher than usual, and there's greater tension in the string. And with greater tension, you have greater penetration of sound. It's a little louder, and it will rise above the sound of the sound of the orchestra. But it does mean that it's much harder under the fingers also, so physically it becomes a little bit more difficult. So you often find bass players practice a piece in orchestral tuning, and as soon as they put the solo strings on, it becomes like a different piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna start playing it. It's really interesting because like it was my first time, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, the concert was tight, especially the hip hop part. It was really amazing.
It was the first time for me. It was boom, man. I did not expect to listen to this.
It was nice. It was very cool, but it was the first time I heard it. You know, when they played the hip hop, when it started, I was skeptical. No, I didn't know what I was going to do there, but it was really fun.
The double bass.
The double bass was cool, but it sounded like, you know, I was like slicing something. Yeah, but it was fun.
And so we have to really promote that. That's why what we're doing here with the JMI is so important, because it's connecting with people in a way that, okay, it's accessible through the hip-hop and everything immediately. You know, they're switched on to that.
That's excellent, because I cannot play that thing, you see, standing there about hours. I cannot play that thing. Well, what I like about the music is that William Shakespeare said, if music is a fruit of love, then play on.